Hello, I'm Harry David Arthur Hughes. That's my full name, which I like using my full name.
Yeah.
I was born in 24th of May, 1995, in Whipps Cross Hospital, Leytonstone, which is like a crappy East End hospital. It's where David Beckham was born. That's my claim to fame. First claim to fame.
Yeah.
That's number one.
The first one.
Yeah. And I was born with a cleft lip and palate, which has dictated much of my life, which is it's a birth defect of the mouth and the nose. And I had a bilateral one, which is like the worst one you can get, big one. So I had loads of operations when I was a kid until I was like 3. Spent most of my life in hospital then, and then I got out and started life proper.
Right away?
Proper
Right
good
off the
life.
bat?
Right off the bat, yeah, that was it. That was just like my prologue, you know?
Yeah. So what's your earliest memory?
Getting my cat when I was 3, which is quite a cute story. So me and my brother really wanted a cat. It's called Rob. And parents finally let us have one. So we went to the cattery where they have like rescue cats. And we spent all day at the cattery, saw every single cat. And there were some we liked and some were alright. And we got to the very last cat and we opened the door and there's this big fat black cat just lying there with loads of kittens. And what we do is we sit outside and we pat on our laps and we're like, come on, say hi. And some of the cats would just sit there and look at us. Some of them might come out and walk around and then go back in. And this cat, this big fat thing, got up, walked over to my brother's lap, sat in it and just fell asleep. And we're like, this is the cat right here. So we bought that cat and it was Pepper. So she was my first memory, was getting my cat.
Oh, Pepper.
First ever with me, yeah. I remember that one.
Have you had any... Is she still alive?
No.
Oh, okay.
She died when I was 18 or so.
Okay.
So she lasted pretty well.
Yeah, I was going to say.
She's old.
Quite a long life. Do you have another cat now?
No, my parents don't want to get one. But the second I'm earning, I'm getting a cat because cats are like my life.
I agree.
Yeah, I fully live for cats.
So I guess tell me a little bit about growing up with cleft palate and the surgery and, I don't know.
Well, I was fairly lucky compared to other cleft kids because, like, my parents were able to get the best surgeon, one of the best surgeons in the world, who I still know and still correspond with.
Oh, really?
He did
That's
all
wonderful.
my operations my whole life.
Wow.
And all my, like, anything to do with my mouth, my teeth, he did it. And he's retired now, but I still speak to him. He's a really nice bloke. But I was quite lucky in that regard. So the surgery was really successful. So, like, a lot of people can't even tell now. And it was quite well done, whereas a lot of other people clefts are really bad ones. But when I was a kid, it looked worse than it is now. It kind of hadn't grown my face out yet, so you could really tell.
Yeah.
And it was kind of weird as a kid. Like, it does make you socially a bit weird because people will stare at you, and everyone you meet will ask you about it. And it will have some impact on you, but I don't think it had a huge impact. I was about 10 when I had my bone graft operation, where they take a bit of your shin bone out and put it in your mouth to cover up a hole. And you go in hospital for like 3 months or so, like a long time. And you have to, at the end of it, you have to learn how to talk again. Learn how to walk again, and you don't eat for that 3 months. They feed you
At
through
10?
drip. At 10.
Yeah.
So I had to like speech to open up. My voice has always been a bit odd. I had to relearn how to talk when I was 10.
Oh, that's why. No.
Yeah, fuck you. But yeah, so that impacted me because that's quite an important age. I think
Yeah.
I'm about to go into like senior school, and I was totally disrupted by that, and I was sort of a bit odd after that. Although I remember the doctor telling me that after I got out of hospital, I had to always have my feet up at school, so I had to have a chair at the end of my desk. I'd have to rest my legs up, which was great, and I had to have ice cream as much as I could. So I just had ice cream with my feet up, which was great. But apart from that, it was pretty disruptive.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What was primary school Harry like?
I was a little geek.
Yeah. How so?
Like, we used to have awards at school, even in primary school, like prize giving, and I got the effort prize every year, which is like the most industrious student. I was really quiet. I didn't talk to many people. I just worked hard. Primary school me was really good. I went to a really shitty primary school at first, and in my class of like 20, I think 2 of them are like dead and a few in prison now. Like, it was a really shit rough school.
No. Yeah.
And I didn't care. I didn't really know them. I was primary school.
But
Yeah.
you don't wish that for anyone.
But then there was me and my best mate at the time, Jack, who I was very close to growing up. We were always like way ahead of the class. Like, we just get all the work done in primary school way before anyone else. And then so eventually our parents were like, you've got to go to a better school. So they put us to private school, which made a big difference.
What age did you start private school at?
Oh, when I was 7.
Okay.
So I was only like at crap school for a little bit.
2 years or so?
Yeah, 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that more like 4? Then you go to you started private school at 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We used to have like reception in there.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then I went to a nice school, which was cool. But yeah, I worked really hard when I was private school. I was a good kid.
Yeah. What was the transition like moving schools?
I loved it because I went from a crappy school to a really good one, which had a really smart uniform, and everyone was really polite and had computers and stuff like that, and it was really nice. So I was really excited by it. It didn't bother me at all. I loved it. And then I stayed at that school my entire life, and I want to work there when I'm older. Like I love that school. Yeah, really attached to that school. Yeah. So.
Awesome. So describe 10-year-old Harry.
10-year-old Harry. I think I was soft. I was a little soft, meek child, you know. I was just scared of everything. I used to cry so much when I was like 10. I was a little crier. I don't know.
What scared you?
Quiet. I don't know. I couldn't socialise like anyone else. And my brother has been a massive influence in my life. And from a young age, my brother's been a very confident, eloquent, charming man. And even when I was 10, this kid was, hanging out with 13, 14-year-olds, and he was very well popular and a great bloke. And he always, I don't know, it makes you as a younger sibling kind of shy away a bit because you're like, I can't talk.
Was he that kind of supportive, protective big brother?
Yeah, the story of like my relationship with my brother is that everyone, my family, my friends, everyone at school loves my brother and adores him, and all the attention's on him. So I should be mad, and it can be quite upsetting when people don't even ask. Like I've been in family dues where people have gone up, like people I don't really know have gone up to my parents and said, "Oh, your son's wonderful," and they're like, "We have another one," and it's like, come on. But I can't be mad because he's so amazing to me. He's such a good brother to me that it's like, fuck yeah, like you're too perfect. I can't even be mad at you.
Were you always close?
Yeah, always, yeah. I don't think we ever really argued. But we never used to play fight or anything. We always was really good friends, and he always included me with his friends. So it's just a great bloke.
Yeah.
But it impacts on your own. So,
what kind of younger brother were you to him?
I mean, I guess I was pretty annoying because I didn't have that many friends of my own, so I just sort of suckle off his and just hang around him all the time. I remember when he started dating, and he would be like in his bedroom with his like girlfriend. He must be 15, 16, and I used to hang outside the door with like a plastic sword, having just poke it under the door, like bah. and I can imagine how frustrating that would be.
Yeah,
he was quite patient with me.
How much older is he?
He's 3 years older.
3 years. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What attributes of your parents do you see most in yourself, and how do you feel about that?
That's quite a good question because, like a lot of guys, I hated my dad for a long time.
Yeah.
And I thought he was a really. I'll list some things I thought my dad.
Starting from when? Like, what age do you remember?
Like 11.
Okay.
Like most of my teenage years, I hated him. But here's some attributes of my dad, which most people I list this thing I'm talking about me, like sort of arrogant, opinionated, like a little bit selfish, very overly confident. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I hated him for all those. I thought he was a total knob. And then he's sort of slowly started becoming them because that's how life works.
Yeah.
So I've got all those attributes of my dad, but then my mum is a warrior, like she worries a lot, and I've got those attributes as well. So yeah, paradoxically very confident and very stressed out at the same time, but it works.
The perfect storm of Harry Hughes.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah. But I'm definitely a mummy's boy though. I'm mum's son.
Yeah.
My brother's dad.
Since you were little.
Oh yeah. I've always been a little crybaby and just want to cuddle mum, you know.
What's your relationship with your mum like?
It's odd though because I say that, but compared to other people's relationships with their parents, I don't talk to my parents about anything emotional or sad or relationships or friendships. I don't have the relationship. I find it very cringy. So I have.
Why?
I don't know. I have no idea. I never explained it. I've never been able to resolve that in my head. But I can talk quite openly about emotions with other people and with other people's mums. I can't do it with my own. I just find it really embarrassing. So I have quite a professional relationship with my parents. So both of them, which is functional, practical.
Yeah.
And I can't. It's cringy to me. I can't talk about girlfriends with them. I never used to tell them.
Does your brother have that kind of relationship with them?
And I have that relationship with him. So everything I tell him, he usually tells my parents. So they kind of know.
So it's like a.
Yeah, but I won't do it directly. I used to, when I started getting in trouble at school, and I remember one day I was in really bad trouble. I nearly got kicked out of school, and I came home. And my parents were sitting there like, Harry, come in here and talk to us. And I couldn't face it. I told everything to my brother, and then he spoke to them on my behalf, and that was always his role. So can you imagine how annoying I must be to him? But kind
of sounds like he enjoyed the.
He probably loved the drama.
Role. Yeah,
he used to just sit and say, "Oh, Harry's been so bad again." But yeah, he still does that to this day. So.
Oh, that's so sweet. You talk about kind of struggling in school. When did that start, and kind of what was the catalyst for that? Do you think?
Probably 13. I started acting out. I just didn't have that many friends. I remember consecutive summer holidays, and I have vivid memories of it. I would spend all day, every day, playing snooker with myself and playing video games.
What's that?
It's like pool.
Okay.
Pool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And playing video games, and I didn't talk to anyone until right up till I was 13. And I think puberty hits and you start striking out and acting up anyway. Because I didn't have that many friends. I ended up friends with some weird people and some guys who ended up being very good. So my best friend for a while was a guy called Jamie, who got kicked out of school eventually for beating a girl on the head with a metal pole and giving her brain damage. He was a very seriously fucked up dude. And I didn't know, I mean, I stopped being friends with him before that happened because I grew up a little bit. But that's who I was friends with, like 13 to 15, and that was my, like, our influence. So we were kind of rebellious white kids, you know, like Columbine vibes. And yeah, I guess, I don't know, I didn't respect
I'm imagining
authority.
Clockwork Orange.
It was a bit like that. It was a bit.
Droogs.
Yeah, we were fucked up, man. Honestly, we used to do some fucked up shit, but like that was my influence, and because I rejected any authority, I hated my dad, and I was frustrated, and I don't know, all the normal like teenage shit.
Yeah.
And I was just a total arse at school. I used to like bully people and like be a cunt to my teachers and tell my teachers to fuck off. I hate you. And, like, all this, and now I want to be a teacher. Like I've changed quite a lot. But yeah.
When you were in those moments where you were acting out, what was the kind of like the feeling? Was it?
It was rage. I was raged, really angry.
Yeah.
I used to go completely hot-headed and red and fight people. Especially in the summertime, because in the summertime we were allowed to play in the field. We're like in the middle of my school campus. There was this huge like football field, and only in summertime we could all go on it. It must have been a combination of the heat and me being me. But I used to remember I'd just get really angry and I'd just go and find someone to fight. And I just did that like consecutively, like every day at school.
Yeah.
And my parents knew nothing about it. Like I kept it on the DL until I started getting in trouble. But yeah, I was a rebellious teenager. I could have gone completely the other way.
Yeah. What made you not go the other way?
When I was gonna get, something happened with with a girl actually, which I don't like mention. Don't like going into too much detail about, but there was sharing of naked photos of a girl in school.
Yeah,
and I was implicated right in the middle of it, and it wasn't really me; it was Jamie. It's a long story.
Yeah,
but she was quite.
But just kind of caught up and. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a massive scandal, and I was right in the middle of it. And my school is a really weird school. It's diamond structure. So in primary school you're mixed, and secondary school there's a boys' school and a girls' school on the same campus, and then the sixth form you mix it up again.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So yeah, so I was in the boys' school. But we shared the campus with the girls, and essentially what happened is the head of the boys' school was defending my case and be like, look, boys will be boys. You know, he's a bit off the rails, but we can work it out. And the head of the girls' school was like, I need to protect these girls. He needs to be kicked out of the school. And so all that was going on. But then we have a CCF cadet force in my school, and he was one of my teachers. And I got on really well with him. I have no idea why, but we had a lot of respect for him. We got on quite well.
Yeah.
And he intervened and was like, look, he's about to join the CCF, and I can work on him and sort him out. And so I joined that, and he actually just literally military dual discipline into me. And then he gave me a rank and promoted me, stuff like that. And within 3 years, I was like head of house, like getting all this shit. I was like a top prefect and stuff like this. He just sorted me out, so that's why I work.
Do you have any kind of reason why you rejected certain kinds of authority, but that one kind of spoke to you?
Yeah, I think it's because that one, like, there was more incentive to it. I think any other authority at that age, there's no incentive to behave well. And from my background, it was like I felt when I was 13, 14, 15, I was like, I don't need to work hard at school because my dad's got money, and then I don't need to be nice to my dad because he's still going to put food on my table, so I don't really care. But then when I joined the cadets and that, it was like, if I behave well, then I will get a rank and I'll get respect and I'll be able to do this and I'll get to go on these cool things, we get to go and have fun and stuff like that. And it was finally, there's an incentive in my life that I don't think I had before that. And so that's why. And not only that, but I think it's because the way that like the cadets will work is your seniors are just older kids.
Yeah.
So like 18-year-olds are the people who are in charge of you and you look up to. And I just had a great bunch who really like were role models for me and were really good people, and you sort of learn off them. I was just like, fuck. But so it was a bit of that, but I also started responding to authority to my brother a lot more when I was like 15, 16, because he like was at an age where he'd realised, okay, I was actually a bit fucked up, and he started being like, no, you stop doing that, you do this, and he looked out for me a lot more, even more than he had done before. And he could control me, and then I just grew up. It's changed.
What was 15-year-old Harry's catchphrase?
Oh my god. See, the first things I think of was swear words. We used to swear.
Well, that's fine.
It's just like, fuck off. No, I don't know. I don't.
What about 18-year-old Harry?
Okay, I actually do. I did have a catchphrase when I was 18. I used to, in a very camp voice, I'd go into the room and go, hi, hi, hi. And everyone would go, hi, Harry. So I was a bit more popular then. And people liked it.
How did
There's quite a difference between the two.
How did being popular, like, how did that happen, but what did that, how did that happen to you?
No, I get you. Going from like that to being fairly popular. I think
what changed in you that?
Well, the second I was disciplined and nice and sort of treated people well and worked hard at school and that, I'd always had confidence and kind of, I'd always been a bit funny as well. I always liked to be humorous when I was a kid. I'm not so funny now. I'm boring as fuck, but I used to be quite funny. And so I always had those kind of traits that I could be quite popular, but I used them in the wrong way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, use confidence for the evil. But the second I was controlled, it was just like, if you're 17 years old and you're as confident as I was, you will become popular because most kids aren't.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah, so, and that was it. And then I was in positions as well of authority, so in cadets and then in my school life, I was put in positions where you're in charge of people and stuff like that, and people look up to you, and then you become quite popular as a result. I did well, and I started dating, which always helps. You know, so it was a good step.
Do you want to talk about your first girlfriend?
Oh my god! Well, I can tell you something really interesting actually, which most people don't know. I don't even know. I don't even know if I've really told Ellen the full story of this, which is amazing. My first girlfriend, I was 11 to 12 years old.
Okay.
And so this is way before. It wasn't serious dating, so I don't call it really dating until I was 16.
Didn't put a ring on her?
No. This is even more than this. More than this. I still to this day never met her because I was one of these weird kids who had an online relationship. And we had it for about a year. She lives in Wolverhampton.
How did you communicate online?
On MSN.
Oh, okay, MSN, cool.
But I used to chat to her every day, and but that was how lonely I was. Like, an online girlfriend at 11 is like a red flag if you're a parent. But they didn't know about it. But yeah, I had like an online girlfriend. She was my first girlfriend.
What was her MSN name handle? I don't know what they're called.
It was Melissa Lynette at Hotmail. So use their names and just check
cool.
in. But her lives have gone completely opposite directions. So.
Yeah.
But that was technically my first girlfriend. And then
what was your first in-person girlfriend?
There's a girl called Kyra who I'm kind of friends with, but again, so all my girlfriends be alarmingly different people. Like I tried everything under the sun. Kyra was like an Essex girl, like very glamorous. I must have been 15 when I started dating her. Her mum's a model. She won't say like she's a model or anything like that. I'm not going off, but like she was. Designer handbag, makeup, designer shoes, very much like high maintenance. Yeah. And I went out with her for a bit, and I can't imagine myself doing now, but how I tolerated it. I went out with her, and then went out with another girl like that called Natalie, who I lost my virginity to, who was very spoiled, a very rich Essex girl, who was all like, "Oh, you're right," like this, horrible to me now. That was my thing for a bit. But that was cool because they were popular girls when you're that age. Yeah. So I had it was like a token girlfriend. I was 15, 16. Yeah. And then I settled down. Yeah.
What's the biggest thing you had to overcome in school?
Probably myself. Yeah, it's quite a sad thing to say.
I think it's quite honest though.
Yeah, it is. That was the biggest thing that held me back. And I reckon if I hadn't acted out in between 13 to 16, I could have even better than I had done now, and it was almost a miracle that I stayed in and then eventually got to university because I was failing everything because I didn't do shit. But that from primary school, winning the effort prize of being a very industrious kid, that was always there. I just needed to rediscover it. And once I rediscovered it, it was free sailing, I guess. So myself. Probably.
So how did you get to St. Andrews? What led you here?
I'd never heard of it until I looked on the league tables of the UK, like university. I was just like, what's this number 3? I'll have a look at it. And it just looked really nice. And I applied with I have a very close family friend called Henrietta, who I essentially grew up with. I had my first steps in her bedroom. We're very, very tight. She's from a German family, lives on the road from me. And we applied for it together. We both wanted to go to St. Andrews. She's a very bright girl. She ended up at Oxford doing classics.
Okay.
So she ditched me. But we applied together and we were really excited. I remember looking up. I don't know, but I looked at so many universities. I looked at 12. I visited them all over the country. St. Andrews was the last one I visited, and none of them looked right. And I was still just like, I don't really know if I want to go to university. I wanted to join the military for a bit. I was like, I don't know what to do. Yeah. And then I came here, and it just felt like home. I was just like, yeah, fuck it, I'll come here. And I'm here. But yeah. Yeah. It's been alright.
Why didn't you join the military? Why did you choose university?
My parents resisted at every junction me joining the military.
Why?
Because it's a stupid career path to go down, to be honest. I'm glad I never went. To be fair, when I joined the ATC here, which is a way to keep an option open, if I could have gone to something else, I eventually failed the medical, so it didn't matter anyway, so I wouldn't have got in. So that was fine. It all worked out. But yeah, I just and then I guess I started wanting to teach from quite young, and that was always there. So I've had many career paths. I wanted to be a pilot at one point. I went out to Spain. My uncle flies, so he taught me how to fly. I used to fly all the time. But yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
What attracts you to teaching?
Respect.
Especially
respect.
Yeah,
I love respect. I think anyone who wants to be in any position of authority as well, there's inevitably can be the side of it, which is I want people to respect me and listen to me and do as I say, and that's always going to be part of it. And I think that will always reflect how they used to be in some way. But I've gotten older and actually started working with kids that has matured and developed into a more serious sort of attraction to it, which is it is really rewarding seeing yourself impact on young people in a certain way. And I started seeing it again when I was 17, 18 as a cadet, when I was higher up, and I remember teaching about 12-year-olds to shave when I was 18. And to me, it was just, I just did it as a laugh, as like an icebreaker at the beginning of a camp. And I've seen those guys recently and they've been like, we'll never forget that. Like, you taught us how to shave. And it's just like having that tiny impact, or saying one thing and backing someone up. I have a cadet now, someone I work with, who was very much like me when I was his age. He's 12 years old. He's very quiet and he never speaks to anyone. And the guys I work with weren't going to promote him or anything. They were like, he's useless, he doesn't do anything. And I stood up for him and was like, no, give him a rank, give him a chance, just give him a position where he can be a bit more confident and grow and develop. And I really fought for him and had all these conversations of sitting down chatting to him like, I really believe in you, lad. I was like you. Nice one-on-one conversations that they appreciate, which to you, they're not any effort to you. You're just sharing what you know about the world.
Yeah.
But to them, that kid he's becoming very confident, very sure of himself. He has a difficult home life, but he's starting to become his own and he's doing very well at school. And you don't take credit for it, but you can look at it and be like, I had some impact on them. And
however small.
Yeah, and it's no skin off your back, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I love that. I love this impact.
How do you feel about the fact that a lot of teaching goes along with a lack of respect?
Yeah, that's fine though, because everything I've done has come with that as well. And because I was so disrespectful as a kid, I kind of get where they come from.
Yeah.
So it's like, fair enough. I mean, I am just a bloke who's telling me what to do, and I can't really do that, but shut up and do what I'm telling you. I understand where the rage comes from, which can help as well. I don't know. I mean, that's always the hardest bit of the job, is how you deal with it.
Yeah.
And exclusion always works because it worked for me. I know what worked for me when I was being acted out, and they would just kick me out of the classroom and send me to sit my own.
And that worked for you?
Oh, yeah. That's the most effective thing, because you're doing it partially to show how crazy you are to your peers. You're like, I'm not saying I'm going to tell the teacher to fuck off. And the second you're out of the classroom, sitting in the corridor on your own, you
don't get the reaction.
No, and you think about your parents and you think, fuck, what am I doing? Like, this is stupid. And then you just feel left out, and you look inside the window and all your classmates are working hard, and you're like, maybe that's quite cool.
Yeah.
And it works, and it's worked. So you learn how to deal with it.
Yeah. In what ways do you fit into St. Andrews, the community, and in what ways don't you?
I think I barely fit in, to be fair. I didn't really engage in St. Andrews. I'm not one. I don't know if it's I expected to, but when I came here, I didn't get involved in society. I didn't really engage in that much, and I don't really have a huge circle of friends, which was partially my own choice.
Yeah.
I wish I could have met more people, but I'm sort of.
Still can.
Well, I still can. I've got an extra semester, but I fundamentally came here to learn, which has always guided it, and I like studying, and I've loved what I've learned here, and so I'm not really. It doesn't bother me. For the first time in my life, I've not been engaged much socially, and it's not bothered me.
Yeah.
And so as opposed to when I was younger, and it's just like, oh, no one's invited me to parties, I'm really sad. Now it's like, I'm fine. I can chill on my own, and I can do some work, and cook some dinner, and then I'm chill with that. So I don't really engage much in Senate. I don't really fit in. I don't think.
Are there any ways that you feel you fit in? Or do you consider yourself kind of like an outsider?
No, I don't know. I think I fit in academically in the sense that I've met people who are interested in the same things I'm interested in, which everyone can say.
Yeah.
But I fit in that way. But to be honest, I don't know. There's a lot of different people in St. Andrews. I feel like I never met my group in the sense of people who are like me, my background and where I'm from. But that's fine. People get on. Case in point.
So what do you, I guess along that line, what do you cherish most about your last 4 years here? I mean, you still have a semester left, but...
It would have to be either everything I've learned academically and sort of improving my skills and stuff like that into a position where now I feel like... it's like when I started off and I wanted to be a teacher, even in like first year, I still felt like I wasn't sure of my own ability. Whereas now it's just like I feel like I can share knowledge and be like, hey, this is how you do this, how you do this, and you master the techniques, and that makes me really good, and learning interesting stories, and I value that a lot. But also like lessons learned of, I made a lot of mistakes here, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
In relationships and friendships, things like that. But you still cherish those. You still walk away and say, well, it's still good memories and lessons learned and bridges burnt.
I think that's a Carrie Underwood song.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I don't even. Okay.
It's called Lessons Learned.
There you go. So yeah.
It's from her original album, Some Hearts.
Right, yeah, Carrie Underwood.
I know. Well, yeah. When she won American Idol, it was groundbreaking. No.
Never watched any of that.
So what do you see for yourself in the future?
Go back to London, learn to teach, inherit my parents' house, which I can't wait to do, and teach my old school.
It is a nice house. Yeah.
I'm not going far from where I grew up, to be fair. I want to live in that house and teach at the school I went to. It's quite sad to some. It's a bit
Why?
like... I don't know. I have a really strong attachment to it. I think it's a wonderful place. The school is quite a unique school, like it's philosophy and things like that, and it really suited me in hindsight, and it really suits what I want, who I want to be, and what ideals I want to express. The place is great. It's in London. It's like a wealthy bit as well, and there's a nice community, a nice environment. Everything about it, I love it, and I can't think of anywhere else in the world where I'd rather be. And I've been to many places.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want to live anywhere else other than that house, and go to that school.
Yeah.
Every day. I don't know. It's just a dream.
So how do you think where you grew up shaped your identity today?
Massively. I grew up in one of the most multicultural places in the world, certainly in Europe, and that influenced me hugely because I mean most of my friends when I was even quite young, when I was like who I went to nursery, I've got pictures of me with like 4 or 5 years old at birthday parties, and there are Muslims and Sikhs and Hindus and Afro-Caribbeans and everything, and Turks, things like that. And those different cultures influence you massively, obviously politically, but also kind of personally because you hear cultural attitudes you wouldn't normally think of. So I don't know, but when you're a teenager especially, and when you're sort of 17, 18 and you're able to perceive those a bit better, I think growing up in a multicultural environment teaches you to, I don't know, open your mind a bit to other people's opinions as well.
Just being able to see people that look different than
you.
you.
Exactly. But I think it's sort of like...
Which a lot of people don't get when they're growing up.
And I strongly believe in worldviews, and I think everyone has different worldviews, and the hardest thing to do, but the most important thing to do is to understand that people fundamentally look at the world in a different way. And I've learned that from coming in a multicultural place. And then if I engage in politics, I engage in friendships and relationships, and I find people who have just fundamentally think of anything differently to me.
Yeah. And
I'll pick up on it, but they might not necessarily see it. They'll see it as, I don't really like that about you. It's like, okay, fine, but we're fundamentally different on some things. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that influenced in that sense. But apart from that, I mean, it was a sort of upper middle class environment. It was safe and allowed me to be a bit of a knob, I guess. Otherwise I'd get my ass kicked for anywhere else. But yeah. How
do you approach those conversations with people that are fundamentally different than you then?
That's changed quite a lot even since I've been at St Andrews, because I was always been quite stubborn, and when I came to St Andrews it was always my way the highway. And if you disagree with me, I'll take an issue with it, and we'll argue about it, and we'll argue about it until I win, because I'll win. I'm a bit arrogant.
Yeah.
I've learned to just ignore and move on and just kind of walk away, which has been hard, but eventually you've got there and just kind of like...
What are the benefits of doing that?
It's a really important skill. You might end up doing it in work life or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it has been beneficial eventually.
Yeah.
And it will be, even if at times it's pretty grim. But
that's fair.
Yeah.
What's a constant that you've seen throughout your life, or that you rely on?
That I rely on. I can think of a constant.
Okay.
Like a constant in my life, which it seems quite sad at first, but I don't actually mind it, is that I leave a trail behind me of people who have fallen out with me quite seriously. People who I very strongly dislike and who dislike me.
Yeah.
That's a constant in my life, pissing people off. When I came to St Andrews, my brother wrote me a letter wishing me luck, and I've still got it in my room and I read it occasionally because it's really entertaining, because he basically talks about, I worry of how many friends you're going to lose and fall out with and how many people you're going to piss off. It's said quite true. Yeah, it's fair enough. That's quite constant, but it doesn't bother me because I believe that... Well, because I still believe that I'm me, and I know who I am, and I know that I genuinely believe that I'm a good person. If people don't like me, then it's sort of like, okay, then it wasn't meant to be. I'm not bothered about it. And people have called me, people I live with have called me sort of evil and twisted and shit like that, which has got to me. But if you fundamentally, I just think I just want to make my mum proud and be like my mum and be like my grandmother and be a good person, and I believe that I try and I am, then it's like, I don't really care if people dislike me. Then they just misunderstood me, and it's not my problem.
Yeah.
But that's been...
But you don't mind that misunderstanding kind of staying there?
No.
You don't have a desire to clear up misunderstanding?
Yeah, I've had a lot of people write me off, I think. My yearbook quote that my best mate...
Oh, no.
He was 18, yeah, my best mate. My best fucking friend wrote it, but my yearbook quote is essentially, Harry's like Marmite, you either love him or hate him. I hear a lot of bad things said about Harry, but there's quite a small group who really like him. And I sort of like, yeah, thanks. A bit backhanded, but I get it. But that was certainly true. A lot of people some people, there's a girl who goes here who's in my year at school, who absolutely can't stand me and is convinced that I'm racist and sexist and nasty. And none of it's true, but it just got written off, and I've just had that. People have written, I don't know what I do because I don't mean to do it.
Yeah.
And it can be frustrating when I think, oh, I'm not who I was when I was 13 and 16 when I was like that, and I was very abrasive, and then you still.
But you don't try and change, or you don't mind people thinking that you're still like that.
I don't mind it. No, I don't mind it. It only gets to me because I really don't believe it's true, and it gets to me that I like my story of my life since I was sort of a teenager has been overcoming being a bad person.
Yeah.
And I take a lot of pride in trying to be a good person now compared to if I was. And it can be a bit upsetting when now someone says you're
it's not recognized.
And it's like, fuck, am I still a bad person? So it's a lot of self-doubt, and that's certainly been the case for the last year or so.
Yeah.
It's really self-doubt, like, are you a good person? Are you a bit of, you know what I mean? How do you treat people? Stuff like that. But then coming out the end of it and being like, no, I'm fine. Like, this is not a problem. This is just, it's whatever. I know it's not annoying. That was a bad constant thing to rely on.
No, it's interesting.
I know you were going for something more like
no,
material.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, okay.
It's been all over the board.
All right.
Someone said the ocean, so.
The ocean.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
So along those lines, what's your value system?
So it's interesting because, like, one of the bigger role models in my life was my grandmother, who, and my grandfather for that matter, my mum's parents. She was a remarkable woman. They were both obviously products of the war, and both British, and grew up in London. And my nan was in the Women's Auxiliary Air Force. My granddad was in the RAF, and they met on a military base. And after 1 week, decided that they'd get married, and he was going to fly. He flew off to Europe and he fought, and then he came back and they got married and they had kids. And they were very Christian and things like this, and they were very strict in their values, and they got pushed down onto my mother and eventually onto me quite strongly, both sort of vicariously through my mum, but also my nan was a babysitter who was close to me in my life. So anyway, so that I have a lot of their values, which has always been on a fundamental value that my whole family is just enjoy life, like don't overthink anything. We don't believe in sort of grand crusades or principles and like that. It's literally just enjoy life while you can. Be good to people, love people, have people love you back, and that's it. And that's literally all there is to it, which I firmly believe. I hate now. It's like any conflict. My nan used to always say, like, if you ever argue with someone, like, make sure you resolve it before they go to bed, because you never know if they might not wake up in the morning. And I fully believe in that now, which is quite annoying. For, in a bad relationship where you're constantly like, no, we need to talk, and then you just want to go to bed.
Just
and
never get
sleep.
Yeah.
But I'm just pestering you because I want to resolve it. But that's a fundamental belief in just like there's just no need for conflict, which is almost paradoxical. I was
going to say, how does that play in with your constant then?
That's the bizarre thing about my life, because I genuinely, that is my value set, is avoid conflict, of just try and enjoy life. Yet at the same time, for some reason, I'm always in conflict with someone. Yeah. And so I've always just been like, what am I doing wrong? And sadly, my nan's not here anymore, because she'd be the first person I'd ask, like, why am I still in conflict? But I don't know. I've still yet to resolve it, and hopefully when I start.
Yeah,
fresh,
maybe that's just another chapter that.
Yeah.
The resolution comes later.
I've learned a lot here, so maybe next time I start fresh, it'll be alright. But I don't know.
When did your grandma pass away?
When I was 16, 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and that was sad. That really affected me. And then my cat died soon afterwards, and that totally ruined me.
Yeah.
But my mum is the same. She's like my whole family is. My nan she has 5 kids, and she raised them all the same way, and they're all a very strong, very humorous family. They've always just been a great laugh. Don't take life that seriously. It's not worth it. Chill out, have a laugh. And they're all very loving and just wonderful people, and they've rubbed off on how I think I like to be, or how I want to be.
Yeah.
But getting there. But that's the paradox as well, is that's my mum's side of the family, and then my dad is quite opinionated, and I think that's where the conflict comes in.
Yeah, that's where the two sides kind of meet.
And me and Rob we are quite conflicting people in like within us. So there's a lot of cognitive dissonance going on between wanting to be opinionated and be a bit arrogant, a bit confident, but then also just wanting to enjoy life and be chill out.
How do you reconcile that within yourself?
I think that there's just sort of a level of doing it, or there's a time and a place to be a certain thing. Certainly with being opinionated, I think one thing I learned coming to university, and we've had some great debates about things, but realising that sometimes let it go, sometimes just, be a bit more reconciliatory or sort of say stop and like, let's try and work out where you
When do you draw that line?
Well, I'm still learning.
Yeah,
it's a really hard skill. Everyone is learning.
There's no right answer.
Yeah, but I think I've gotten better now at just not biting, I guess, is the answer. It's sort of seeing things I don't like, seeing things I don't agree with, people saying things I don't agree with, and just being like, okay, that's their opinion, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Leave it for once, whereas I used to be like, I disagree with that, that's wrong, you shouldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Just sort of letting shit go.
That's good.
That's the aim anyway.
So I only have like one more question, but we can talk about other stuff after. What is the biggest lesson you've learned from your life so far?
Probably for my Nando, when she wrote a note to us all, and this is a lesson that she taught us, my mum tried to teach me, but I never really listened to until I learned it. And that it was literally just like it said, life's too short, do what you can while you can, make friends and have people who love you. And that was it. And that was just like, I spent a long time doing the opposite of that and trying to resist and trying to change people and trying to just be someone you're not.
Yeah.
And then the biggest lesson you learn is actually, you're right, life is too short, just fuck it, drop it all.
Yeah.
It's not worth the stress and the worry. So you might as well just try and make the most of it. I'm still learning lessons. You learn that, but then you equally learn some people are arseholes. Some people
comes with life. Yeah. How do you want to make the most of your life then?
By impacting other people. But that to me is making the most. And I want to travel the world and see historical sites and drink good wine and have a family and stuff, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's leave a legacy. Not a written legacy or a material legacy, but a legacy of people will think about you and will say your name after you're gone. And that's how I want to be remembered.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have anything that you didn't talk about in your life that I overlooked or?
Obviously there's loads.
There's lots, but.
Nothing major. I feel complicated in myself because when I think about myself, when I talk about myself, I always end up thinking, but this is like not how it looks. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people must do that. But I think so much about what I've been saying the last 5-10 minutes of just letting shit go and loving people and being okay. But then everyone who knows me knows I have complicated relationships and I fall out with people and it's just like it's hard to reconcile like who I think I am and who I actually am.
That's so true. And then a lot of the times you think you make a decision that coincides with who you think you are, and then its reaction in the world is the opposite of what you intended it as well too.
What have I done here?
Yeah. What have I done here?
That's my quote for that.
Yeah.
What am I doing? What's happened?
I pull out a quote from each of these and like have it as the header of the thing. What have I done here? To
be fair, I think what's happened / what have I done are probably the two most common phrases I've used since I was born. What happened? What happened now? What
have I done?
What did I say? I used to say, what did I say so often? Like, what happened? What did I say? I didn't mean it. Whatever it was.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool.
Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.